Good evening, you're watching Breaking Today News right here on Switch TV. I am Lincoln WAMBUGU, sign language interpreter Stacy Oshira. We have a lot in line for you, including ICJ's ruling on the Kenya-Somalia maritime border dispute. These are the headlines. International Court of Justice rules no maritime boundary exists between Kenya and Somalia, recommends a slight adjustment to the current borderline. Kenya ranks 4th in cryptocurrency globally, based on cryptocurrency-related searches behind Russia, Ukraine, and the United States. And from the sports desk, HARAMBEE Starlets enter their 4th day of residential training ahead of their scheduled two-legged 2022 Africa Women Cup of Nations qualifier against South Sudan on October 28th and 24th. Now, glad you're watching. Over 30 minutes of the broadcast begins now. Now, in regards to the ICJ ruling on the international borders on the disputed 100,000 kilometers square of the Indian Ocean, this is Safi Gudana with Professor MACHARIA on the ruling.
What does it mean for Kenya if we gain or if we lose? If it's in our favor or not?
It's just making a statement that an adverse ruling will not be acceptable and will not be enforceable. Because to enforce it, you have to violate Kenya's territorial waters. And Kenya will not allow that. No country is expected to commit suicide or self-amputation. And what we have here in the 1960s, we had the shifter issue, the attempted grabbing of the land, land territory. Now we have that pushed to the sea, and the assumption is that people will not see it. And then by being funded and prompted by the British and the Norwegians, who then seem to control the ICJ anyway. So the whole thing was organized to the detriment of Kenya. We also know that there may be other countries like Turkey. Strange interest in since they have said they are going to send their navy patrolling the coast of Somalia. The time Kenya and Britain and the Western powers were not in the best of books. We know they did not want President Uhuru to be elected. And it is very strange. The same people who had been talking about consequences and limited contacts if Uhuru wins, immediately he wins, they cook up these things. And there is a sequence to it. And the company that they cooked up, some of them were known to be involved with Al-Shabaab connections. So sometimes and that company was also the one that was helping Al-Shabaab to get weapons.
This case is ruled in favor of Somalia. What do we have to lose as a country?
We lose our, first of all, our integrity. Because this is robbery, it's aggression, and it should be called aggression by Britain and Norway through Somalia. The border is clear, it's parallel, and to change that, that's violation of Kenya's territorial integrity. It is irredentism at the sea, the way it used to be irredentism on land. So what it does is to maybe pressure Kenya first to redouble its maritime security, because comparatively, Kenya's maritime security is not the best. It could be better. We know that they are trying to do something, but because previously, as a country, we tended to be land focused in terms of security, and ignored the sea. And part of the consequences of ignoring the sea are what we are seeing now. So Kenya has a lot to lose if it accepts an adverse ruling. It has no business accepting it. So that's why I think it's the right thing to say it will not accept. So whatever they say, if it's adverse, Kenya will seem reiterate position, its integrity, territorial integrity is not up for discussion. Now, the issue of fishermen fishing here and there, that's a discussion issue. But the ownership is a different matter. That one cannot be.
And what will happen to the business ties, the social security ties between these two countries?
Well, the problem is not at the social, the people-to-people level. The problem is at the top. The next level, there is likely to be a reference to the United Nations Security Council. Because in theory, the ICJ operates under the UN Security Council, in theory. So there is likely to be an issue raised with that. And of course, they need to be discussed at that level, whichever way it is another matter. But the bottom line is Kenya is not willing to concede its territory. Just because people sitting at the Hague said it. No. And so Kenya has been patrolling that area for a long time.
As you've put it, Somalia is just a proxy for the British and the Norwegians and the Turkey. So is it going to affect our relationship with these other countries?
Well, it's already affected in small ways, but it depends on both sides move on the issue. Right now, the British are very anxious to be in good books with Kenya. Different areas. In this case, the current government was not there when this thing started. Maybe it might want to rethink the whole thing. Maybe.
Now, in regard to the International Court of Justice ruling that there is no maritime border between Kenya and Somalia, the maritime dispute between Kenya and Somalia started in August 2014 when Somalia took the matter to the International Court of Justice, saying earlier diplomatic attempts to resolve the row from 2009 had not borne any fruits. 7 years later, the court has ruled to split the disputed maritime triangle between Kenya and Somalia and further rejected Kenya's argument of a pre-existing agreement with Somalia on a boundary. The ICJ partially has agreed that Somalia has the right to the oil-rich region of the disputed area of the Indian Ocean, but sought to strike a balance by allowing them only an extra 20 nautical miles of the area currently controlled by Kenya. Remember, Kenya had earlier stated that it will not acknowledge the court's verdict, citing biasness due to the Somalian judge who sought the 15-judge bench to deliver the ruling. Now, moving on to Kenyan politics, ODM party leader RAILA ODINGA has today endorsed by a section of youth from the Mount Kenya region to vie for the top seat come 2022. ODINGA has dismissed claims that he is not the enemy of the mountain, as he also rubbishes Deputy President William Ruto's self-proclamation that he has the key to the mountain. Our senior political reporter Joel Chacha narrates.
As political charm offensive in the mountain intensifies, today ODM party leader RAILA ODINGA met the Mount Kenya Youth Forum at the University of Nairobi. The youth presented their blueprint with a list of demands if ODINGA becomes president come 2022. ODINGA has dismissed that his political inroads in the region should be granted permission by what he calls self-proclaimed kingpins of the mountain.
Some people are saying that they have the key to the mountain. And I've been telling them that no. Jaramogi first went to the mountain. And then RAILA has been to the mountain several times. RAILA does not need anybody to give him a key to go to the mountain.
Ruto's hustler nation was also poked holes and accounted that his approach will never solve the economic problem.
Shida ya uchumi mara ingine sio pesa. We can give you money. The way they announce haphazardly, so every constituency will give you this much. I want to ask you, if you do not formulate policies that are supportive to the people of Kenya, it never matters how much money you give them, my friend. Itaisha.
When it deems right for you, you become right now that you're head of opposition. And when it deems right for you, you say that you're the one who came up with those particular solutions.
A person who's been in power, we don't need such people. We need a political leader in Baba, not a political dealer in Ruto.
On addressing the unemployment issue, the opposition leader has an approach he says will be rolled out as soon as he's sworn as the 5th president.
We're going to ensure that each and every Kenyan family that does not have a source of income will get a transfer of 6,000 shillings per month. That is not something picked from out of the blues. It has been costed by our experts.
ODINGA has also urged the youth from the mountain to back his Azimio la Umoja initiative that he seeks to use as a vehicle in creating political cohesion in the country. Joel Chacha, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Joel Chacha. Still on matters politics, Deputy President William Ruto has asked Parliament to allocate enough resources to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) to adequately conduct the voter registration exercise in readiness for the 2022 polls. Ruto has said that IEBC shall leave no stone unturned in ensuring the targeted 6 million newly eligible voters are registered. Robert Homer with more details.
From us.
In the spirit of drumming campaigns and mass vote seeking to gain favor in the 2022 general elections, the Deputy President William Ruto has challenged the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) to discharge its mandate assertively without any fear or favor.
IEBC to make sure that there are enough kids everywhere in Kenya so that every citizen can have the opportunity to be enlisted as a voter, those who are not enlisted.
Ruto, who was meeting today with a section of Mount Kenya and Ukambani aspirants, has called on the government through the parliament to provide IEBC with all the necessities to accomplish its task of having 6 million new eligible voters before the closure of the exercise.
Parliament should allocate additional resources to IEBC so that IEBC can discharge their mandate and make sure that every voter in Kenya is not denied their chance to participate in ensuring that the next election 6 million new participate.
In company of other leaders allied to the UDA party, the leaders have lauded on the victory of UDA party and their waiting presidential victory.
Si mnajua tutashinda serikali. Si mnajua tutashinda.
Politics is about interests, and you've been told by the vision carrier it's about interest.
We have a plan. Yeah? The bottom-up plan.
The leaders say that it would be a disgrace to the country if IEBC shall not conduct its mandate as stipulated. Robert Homer, Switch TV.
With Robert Homer story, we now take a short commercial break. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more. Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Switch TV. Chief Justice Martha Koome has today witnessed the renewal of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Judiciary Training Institute JTI and the Attorney General Alliance AGA Africa. This comes at a time when the judiciary is embarking on the revamping of judicial education and training. Speaking today at Serena Hotel in Mombasa, the Chief Justice says by expanding international networks and forming collaborative working relationships with other judiciaries across Africa, judges and judicial officers will be able to learn and share knowledge and experiences. In attendance were Justice Musa Datija Muhammad of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Justice Annie Nyeboah of the Supreme Court of Ghana, and Justice Hili Butani of the Supreme Court of Malawi.
Ceremony is witnessed with the Honorable Chief Justice. This journey of protecting, promoting constitutionalism, protecting human rights and our democracy is a shared value in Africa, where we are developing Pan-Africanism, a movement of good governance, rule of law, and democratic governance. So we are looking forward to learning from our colleagues from these countries, how they navigate.
Countries from the same continent, we can work together and move on a common front so that we will tackle our own problems. Nobody elsewhere will come down to solve our problems.
Meanwhile, KISII University students earlier today went on the rampage to protest an increase of fees by the management. This is after the University Senate increased the fees for second-year students by 10,000 shillings, which led to students throwing stones and smashing doors, forcing police in anti-riot gear to lob tear gas to disperse the rioting students.
As comrades of KISII University, and this all is because of the issue of fee increment. This was increased abruptly, immediately, without giving out the memo of why it has been increased, and now we are crying.
You may have recently noticed a decline in prices of both commercial office spaces and homes, but what has informed this trend? According to different stakeholders in the real estate sector, COVID-19 effects and the incoming of affordable housing are key factors that continue to inform this trend. Our business reporter Brian Mwende has followed this trend and files the following report.
With the incoming of COVID-19 in the country, demand for office spaces has fallen. According to a report by accounting firm Deloitte, retail rental rates has reduced from 1,620 shillings per square kilometer in 2019 to 1,480 shillings per square kilometer in 2020, which has further dropped to 1,460 shillings in 2021. This, according to Architectural Association of Kenya President Wilson Mogambi, has been attributed to Kenyans working from home, with some restructuring their home spaces into offices.
One thing we've come to accept is that I do not need to be in an office. Right now, the office is anywhere you can meet a client, be it somewhere in a coffee house, be it on site.
This has forced commercial office and home developers to get into the affordable housing space.
Even before COVID, there was chronic oversupply on the office market. So that market continues being depressed as we speak. And so we need to think creatively on how do we still make that asset class a profitable asset class for developers and investors in that space.
With the incoming of affordable housing, how do you see this impacting the local commercial developers?
It has made demand and supply. It has made the supply to be more, because now the players are coming in large numbers. More people are getting involved as opposed to previously when the supply was very few people.
With pension-based housing also being days away from completion, prices in the real estate space are set to further stabilize. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Brian Mwende.
Thank you, Bronwyn. Perhaps it's high time to become a homeowner. Kenya has 4.5 million cryptocurrency owners, according to recent research done by cryptocurrency brokerage BrokerChooser. Kenya also has the fourth highest interest in cryptocurrency globally, based on cryptocurrency-related searches behind Russia, Ukraine, and the United States, as our reporter Scott Marioki narrates.
The new research is based on an analysis of cryptocurrency-related searches over the last 12 months. Kenya's ranking is only behind Ukraine, Russia, and America, which top the charts with the highest cryptocurrency awareness scores. The other countries include South Africa, the United Kingdom, India, Nigeria, Australia, and Singapore. Paul Abuya, a cryptocurrency expert, states that cryptocurrency can be very beneficial but requires knowledge of the market.
It's just a form of digital assets. It's just like money. And it has various uses, but most people who trade cryptocurrencies do it for the financial gain that you will get from it. Assets that one can trade. In a nutshell, you can compare it to how people trade forex and stocks, but now these are a different type of asset. It's built on blockchain technology. And you can either trade as the market is going up or as the market is going down. You trade on the volatility, basically.
Abuya also advises that people seeking to invest in cryptocurrency should beware of con artists, as well as other risks that come with a digital currency.
You can use leverage trading, whereby you can multiply your income. But now your risk will also be high when you use high leverage. Also, so does the reward. So these are aspects that one will need to know and will need to learn. We have what we call peer-to-peer trading, whereby you can be able to trade with other guys, send them money on M-Pesa, do an M-Pesa transaction.
The total value of available cryptocurrency coins is currently estimated at $2.4 trillion. With the tough economic times and life becoming more digital every day, more Kenyans are turning to cryptocurrency. Scott Marioki for Switch TV News in Nairobi County.
Thank you, Scott Marioki. Considering growing debt constraints and the needs arising within the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Kenyan government is making changes to its tax regime through various legislative processes. However, a report by the East African Tax and Governance Network has revealed distrust of the government as a major hindrance in Kenyan involvement in public finance management issues. Take a look.
The fact that some Kenyans are avoiding paying their taxes is the reason why the government is not meeting its targets. A majority of Kenyans feel there has been an enormous increase in Kenya's external debt. Most feel that government never meets its targets. That is at 34%. Some at 25% say government always meets its targets. Then others say government sometimes meets its targets.
Sabrina Chepkemoi and Marietta Halima of St. Thomas Girls Secondary School in Kilifi County have been crowned Young Scientists of the Year for the Best Innovation of the 2021 Young Scientists Kenya National Science and Technology Exhibition. Their innovation, Rapid COVIX Breathalyzer Testing Kit, seeks to help developing countries contain the spread of infectious viral diseases such as Ebola and COVID-19. The duo have developed a locally assembled testing kit that can provide real-time results when testing for infectious diseases. In addition to winning 50,000 shillings each, both Chepkemoi and Halima will receive a full scholarship at Strathmore University.
This is our former rapid COVIX breathalyzer, which here is the breathalyzer whereby we had a fluorescent microscope. They were separated, whereby we had where the fluorescent microscope was the one which was used to detect the virus first, and then the breath condensate will be brought here to the breathalyzer to be analyzed. But now we have done more modification whereby we have a smaller, less bulky rapid COVIX breathalyzer.
The rapid COVIX breathalyzer is a medical kit that we have designed and built through partnership with Kilifi. The breathalyzer is used to detect any respiratory diseases or infections such as COVID-19 and Spanish influenza.
This rapid COVID breathalyzer, it produces instant results, and this will therefore reduce the
And from the sports desk, HARAMBEE Starlets has today entered its fourth day of residential training ahead of their scheduled two-leg 2022 Africa Women Cup of Nations qualifier against South Sudan. Starlets will play against South Sudan in the regional showpiece qualifiers on October 20th and 24th for the second leg. The team will be looking forward to qualify for the Africa Women Cup of Nations for the second time and ultimately earn a slot in the 2023 FIFA Women World Cup that will be co-hosted by New Zealand and Australia.
Nafurahi pia kwa call up, imekuwa kitu fiti, imekuwa ni long time since 2018. So nimefika, nimepata there is energy, there is positive energy. Juu mwisho time nilikuwa hapa ni ile time tuliqualify kwenda AFCON, the other time ya Kitorogini kidogo tukafail. But this time it's do or die, you have to do it because
Kenya Sevens head coach Innocent Simiyu is on a scouting mission to reinforce his squad ahead of the Safari Sevens after 7 players were called up to the 15A side team Kenya Simbis. Simiyu was at Masinda Muliro University of Science and Technology last weekend after being asked by Kenya Rugby Union KRU to prepare 2 teams for the October 30th and 31st international event. Meanwhile, VIHIGA Bullets FC have unveiled 7 new talents in a bid to beef up their squad after earning a promotion to the top-tier league. The recruits include former VIHIGA United duo of keeper Patrick Akulo and midfielder Mike Sabo alongside Ugandan Joseph Ajuba. Others include Anthony Nsibei from West Indies Eldoret, Moffat Liuva from Kakamega Homeboys, midfielder Martin Odur from Kisumu All-Stars and Mike Simiyu from Gusii. The team finished second in the National Super League NSL last season behind Talanta FC, hence earning direct promotion to the FKF Premier League. Germany becomes the first team to join host Qatar at the 2022 World Cup with a thumping 4-0 victory in North Macedonia. Former England youth international Jamal Musiala opened his account for the Germans, running in on goal and stroking home a confident